Okay, so one of the things that was most requested from the first video was more footage, and of course didn't have much because it was raining. Now we have a sunny day. It's actually a very sunny day, not a cloud in the sky, and we can get a better idea of how this camera performs. The colors are pretty saturated. I mean, there's a lot of contrast in here. It's definitely not muted. Obviously here I'm recording everything with just default settings. I didn't change any of the standard settings. It's just straight out of the drone without any modification, and I didn't alter the exposure value or anything like that here, so which sees what you're going to get. I did upgrade the firmware. I upgraded the firmware for the camera and the gimbal and the flight controller to the latest version. I think it was released on December 1st, so there might be a slight difference here between the video you saw in the first one and this one here. Overall, hard to say. I'm still kind of like not really sure exactly what to say about this image. It's fairly focused and sharp in the center, but kind of fuzzy on the sides. And then in certain angles, you're going to be able to see the shadows of the propellers, like right here. I think this has to do because it's so bright out. Obviously, and some sort of a ND filter or something. I'll cut the light down will help with that, but not sure what you put on this tiny little camera. I have a funny feeling that my camera might be slightly out of focus from the factory because the edges of the image are definitely fuzzier than the center of the image. So as long as you're focusing on the center image, it looks okay. You know, considering the cost and everything. This is definitely a slightly lower grade camera than the one that's on the Spark. Of course, the stabilization is pretty good. I mean, I would say it's comparable to any DJI product. It's very steady, doesn't shake a lot, hardly at all, no jello as far as I can tell. Yeah, the gimbal seems to be working pretty good. A couple more things to note: the screen on the transmitter is very hard to see in these really bright conditions. On the day that I was testing in the first video, it was cloudy and I had no problem seeing the screen, but on this bright day it was pretty hard to see. Another thing is, as I get further away, the transmissions coming back from the drone seem to break up more, so obviously it's going to be limiting in terms of range. I think that my guess is that the transmitter on the drone is probably in the 150 to 200 milliwatt range. Now I'm here testing a couple of the intelligent flight modes. This is the follow me mode. It's very easy to set up. You just select it and hit OK, and it'll follow you. It follows the transmitter, so it must have some sort of a lock on the GPS in the transmitter, for example, to know where to go. And if you move towards the drone will back up, but if you move to the side, the drone doesn't rotate. It actually will follow you sideways. So that's one thing. It's not exactly the same as the DJI Active Track. And then here's the selfie mode, or the zoom away or droney mode. Just basically the drone just goes away from you. Anyway, I'll have more footage and another video coming up soon, so stay tuned.